Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, Perek Zayin Mishnah Hey. Perek, this is for you and for Sammy, this Mishnah. Shtei Kupas. So we've had this is quoted throughout Shas, this case. Shtei Kupas. You have two boxes. All right, we're talking about Truma. Now we had a little break, and then we're back to Truma falling into Chulin, or Chulin falling into Truma, mixtures, etc., etc. So you have two boxes, one of Truma, one of Chulin. Sounds like a riddle, right? Shenafla saw Truma l'seich achas mehen, and a saw of Truma fell into one of them. But we don't know which box it fell into. We don't know which box. Again, you have a box of Truma, box of Chulin, and then a saw of Truma fell into one of those boxes, and we don't know which box it fell into. So, Harei ani yomer, l'seich Truma nafla. It fell into the Truma box. Meaning, Harei ani yomer means we have the right to say that the Truma was attracted to the Truma. I don't know if attracted is the right word. All right? And we could just assume that the Truma fell into the Truma. Why? Because it's a Derabanan. Because Truma, it's talking about a situation where Truma is Derabanan. So Mamela, when it's a Derabanan, so it's a suffix Derabanan, we could say Lakula. Ain't you do a Ezehi Shel Truma ve'Ezehi Shel Chulin? If he doesn't know which one is Truma and which one is Chulin, right? Meaning this is different than the case. In the first case, he knew which box had Truma and he knew which box had Chulin. He didn't know which box the Truma fell into. Here, he doesn't even know which box is the Truma, which one is Chulin. So now what? Meaning that then he's not able to eat it in the first place. So ochal achas mehen. So if a Yisrael ate from one of them, potter is potter. Because we don't know if he was over on an Isser or not. Bashnia, and then the second box, meaning he eats from one box, we don't know whether it's Truma, whether it's Chulin. So we could assume it's Chulin and he gets off scot-free. But then you have to consider the second one like Truma, right? Because if you can't have it both ways, you can't say that the first box is Chulin and the second box is also a suffix and now it's Chulin. And the Mefarshim say even if the first box was eaten and it's not a straight out stira, still you say that the second one has to be considered Truma, and then Mamela Chayev is B'chala, then it's Chayev and Chala. Because we know that Truma normally does not have Chala. Right? But here, even though we're considering it Chala, but the bottom line is we don't know. So Mamela has to take off Chala. Rabbi Yossi Paiter, Rabbi Yossi says it's Pater from Chala. Right? Why? So because it's a suffix. So Mamela, since it's a suffix, so it's a suffix of a mixture. Then it doesn't have. Aval acher, ochal acher is ashniya. And then if somebody comes out, another Yisrael comes along and eats the second box, right? Then now what? Do you think, well, if the first guy was potter, then the second guy should be chayiv? But that's not what the Mishnah says. The first guy is potter, second guy is also potter, because the Lamaisa is a suffix. Each one of them is a suffix. All right, and who are you going to be mechayiv? You go to each one and say you got to pay. Each one's going to say, "Hey, it wasn't me." Right? The other box was. But if it's one guy ate both, then obviously he knows that he ate truma. So Mishal Ketana Shabishtayan, then he pays like the smallest amount. Meaning he for sure ate truma. So how much does he have to pay? So depending on what the worth is of each box, whatever the worth is of the cheaper box, then that's what he pays. All right, so there's a lot. There's a lot going on in this Mishnah. First case is Truma fell into a choice of two boxes. One was Truma, one was Chulin. So we have the right to assume that the Truma fell into the Truma, and it's okay. If you didn't know which of the boxes was Chulin or Truma, then somebody ate from them, so he's potter. But the second one is a machlokes, whether it's noyig, it's definitely noyig Truma. The question is it also noyig chala or not? That's a machlokes. And if a second person ate the other box of truma, again, that we didn't know which one, whether it was truma or not, so he's also potter. But if one person ate both, then for sure he's chai, but he only has to pay the price of the whatever that particular one was, the cheaper one was worth, the cheaper box was worth. Okay, that's Mishnah Vav. That was Mishnah Hey. Mishnah Vav. Continuing the same, similar. Now, we're saying here, continuing the last case, which is we have two boxes, one is Truma, one is Chulin. We have no idea which one is which. And then one of them went and fell into Chulin. So Eina Medamasan, it doesn't make it into Meduma. Meduma is a mixture of Truma and Chulin. So we don't say it's Meduma, and then it would be Asa. But we don't say that, because why? Because we could say that the Chulin fell into the Chulin, and the other box is Truma. Vashniya, noyig baka Truma, and Shniya, we are noyig with it like Truma. V'chayeves b'chala, and it's chayev and chala. Divrei Rameya, that's the words of Rameya. Rav Yossi Paiter, but Rav Yossi says it's Pater, same as the last mission. Nafna Shniya l'makam achar. But let's say the second box fell into another box of Chulin. So now basically you have two boxes. One was Chulin, one was Truma. One fell into a box of Chulin. Oh, so we said that we could assume that the Chulin fell into the Chulin. That's fine. But let's say a second box fell into a different box. So you have to say one of those is Truma. So one of them should be considered a mixture of Truma and Chulin. But the Mishnah said, no, ain't a medamasan. It's not considered a meduma because maybe the second box is the Chulin. All right, try and figure that out now. You had two boxes, one of Truma, one of Chulin. Each one of them independently fell into a different box of Chulin. We say that both mixtures of the new boxes are considered Chulin because each one is a suffix. All right. However, in the article, in the footnote there, they bring that, who do they bring it from? The Taisus Anshe Shem say that if it's from the same owner, then you can't say that. Right? Because how can you say for the same owner? Okay, you get into heavy lumdus. Naflestein lamakom echad. Let's say both boxes fell into the same place, meaning the two boxes, one was chul, one was truma, you didn't know what it was, and they both fell into the same box, then you have to say it's meduma. Medamos, the katana shepeshteim, and then we consider it as a mixture like the smallest of the two, because we know for sure that it can't, there is truma mixed in there. But we go with the cheapest of the two. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's do some musa. Shari Tshuva Shar Gimel Ois Memhei, the long one. Finally, we get into he's talking about using your mouth now. That's what he's starting with. So the first thing that was discussed about using your mouth is davening in a place that's not clean or where there's pritas. Now he's going to get into lav she'ein by maisa, because we said, how do you get punished? Right? We know that every time you use your mouth, it's considered lav she'ein by maisa. Right? So let's see. V'yesh ba'azharas mem dalet. V'yesh ba'azharas hatliyas b'lashon shaloikan alein. There are azharas, warnings that are tali with speech that you get malchus on them. Ki kain amar of sinners of zechranim lebracha. Kol azharas sheb'Torah, all the azharas in the Torah, lav she'ain by ma'isa, ain't like an love. We know that all these surim in the Torah, if it's a lav she'ain by ma'isa, you don't get malchus. Chutz mi nishpa u'mekalos chavera b'shem, unless you make a shvuas sheker, or if you curse somebody with using Hashem's name. Vashvua l'shav, and the shvua shvua shav is what do you call it? Shvua in vain. Avavi she'ein ba misas bezdin, even though there's no misas bezdin with that. Ansha chomer b'dei shemayim yosim harbi aver sheyesh ben misas bezdin. The einish for swearing for no reason is worse than many averas that have misas bezdin. Ki anishpa l'sheker mechal l'es Hashem. Somebody who swears falsely is Aaron Chil Hashem. Don't swear in my name falsely. Dechilalta is Hashem Elekecha, and you mechalal, you mechal Hashem's name. Right. So that the pasuk says beferish that if you swear falsely, that's Chil Hashem. Right. Chil Hashem anshe lamala mikol averes, and the Chil Hashem, its einish is above all averes. Nichtav kain al achas min averes, and it's not doesn't say this on any of the averes. Ella ala shua l'sheker. It doesn't say anything about Chil Hashem except on swearing falsly. Al avodah zarah and on avodah zarah shenemar ki mizari nasan lamoilech. You give from your children to Moilech Laman Tameis Mikdashai in order to be Matame Mikdash Ulachalas Hashem Kachi. By giving your kids away to Avodah Zarah, Zachil Hashem. V'nema Basharis Leisishtachav Elahem V'Leisavdim Ki Hanoichi Hashem Elekecha El Kana. Right? Hashem is don't bow down, because Hashem is vengeful. I think that's what it teaches. You're not going to have, you're not going to be forgiven for avodah zarah the same way there's slicha for other averos. Getting shekasav, eilazais eslach l'cha, b'nai chazavuni, v'yishbu b'lei elikim. Fine. V'chein kasav b'asharas hashvuas l'sheker, ki lo yinaka Hashem es asher yisas shmoi l'ashav. Right? B'nichtav ha'asharas hashvuas l'sheker, achar ha'asharas avodah zarah. So the shvuas sheker is right after avodah zarah. Yanu b'yanti, hashvuas l'sheker, nimtza b'knafeh, avoin chil Hashem yisbarach. So that meaning, because it's written in the Torah next to avodah zarah, so you see that it's a chil Hashem, like on the equivalent of doing avodah zarah. Yeah. Okay. Let's stop over there, because it's the bottom line is it's a major thing to swear falsely. I don't know. You don't hear from people swearing falsely too much nowadays. But maybe that's because we don't have Bezdin. All right. I don't know.
You could have a shua shav stam, shua's bitui.
I mean, stam. You say you swear, but people don't swear on Hashem's name.
The Mishnah says you swear that a tree is a piece of gold, or a man is a woman, or nishman vatal is a mitzvah. Any of these things.
Right, but you'd have to use Hashem's name.
I don't know.
I guess people say, I swear to God, right? They say that.
Yeah, but I don't know if you need a Shem Hashem for Shua Shav. I think it might be a Machagas Hashem. We'll see when we get to Shuas.
Yeah. Okay.